folks, welcome back to the channel, man. So we have got a pretty good game tonight. 500-point armies here, 497 of Separatists. We got 498 of the Shadow Collective over there. You saw the conditions tonight, clear conditions. We had the flanking positions here and over there, and of course we're playing for the center objective right there. 5 rounds of action, skirmish mode, and let's get this thing started. So to start round one, for fun tonight, I thought I would shuffle each command deck and just pull a card at random for each side. So the Separatists got Duel of the Fates, Shadow got Standing Orders. So yeah, let's get this thing going. So command phase. For the Separatists, of course, Maul got the order because he's Duel of the Fates. Free dodge, and he gets some special abilities. I'll describe those as the round goes on. And for the Shadow Collective, they gave it to Gar Saxon, with Standing Orders kind of hamstrings him on the first round. That's the way it goes. And we will get this thing started. So Separatists did not activate the Maul. They went to the Cup instead, drew out a trooper unit. Now because when they started here, they were not in range 3 of anything to shoot at, the AI attack did not trigger, allowing them to make a move action and then attacking. Now Maul was in range 3, in wide open ground. They took a blind shot at him, and they did score a crit and a hit. Maul did not, he's not surged to block because he had no dodge token to spend yet. He blocks one of them. So these guys actually put a wound on the Maul, and that's how that went. So Shadow Collective, Gar Saxon decided, you know, screw him to go do it. He was here, he just jumped over that, put him to there. Second action was a range 2 shot at Kraken. I did pretty good with that. He scored 2 surges and a regular hit. Surges go to crits for him. There was no cover for Kraken at the time. Kraken did roll 2 blocks, but Gar has pierced 1, so 2 wounds on the Kraken and a suppression, and then of course he gets a dodge token for up close and personal, and that's how that one ended. So next up for the Separatists was the Droidicas were pulled from the bag. Now they have an AI move or attack if able, but where they were too far to attack anything, and then so they had to move. They moved and were just in range of the Maul. They took a shot, and they did pretty well. They got, they don't surge to hit or crit or anything, but they did score a crit and 2 hits on their own over there. Maul blocked 2 of them. Again, Maul's deflect is not triggered because he has yet to activate this round. He doesn't have a dodge token on him to trigger the deflect. So another wound and 2 more suppression. So for Shadow going into the Cup, they pulled their Mandalorians, and unfortunately they did a move action, putting her to there. She's the leader. Now they got an independent aim, and they also get the dodge from being retinue of Maul. Unfortunately, they weren't within range 2 of anything over here with that move, because so it forced them to use their range 3 weapon on these Droidicas, or I'm sorry, not the Droidicas, but the B1s over there. Now she was not eligible to add her dice to it because she's a range 2. So it was only 3 black and 3 white from these jabronis over here going into them, and they did score. I think it was a hit and a crit on that roll, and they spent the aim to get a reroll, which allowed them to eventually just score a crit and a hit. These guys over here, they blocked 1 of them, but they just didn't. They don't surge anything. So 1 wound and a suppression down. That's kind of how it ends. So Separatists go back to the Cup, pulling here. Where they were back here, they were not in range 3 of anything, so their AI attack does not trigger. They did a move action. It did put them in range 3 of Rokast and her fools over there. They took a shot. It was blind, but they rolled all blanks, so nothing happened. That's the end of it for them. So Black Sons of Anarchy activated next from the Cup. 2 move actions puts them from here up to there, which is good. The Kraken doesn't get a clear shot at them. They had an independent aim from, an aim token from independent aim. Unfortunately, Dauntless wasn't able to be used because they did not have a suppression token on them to start their activation. So that's where they end. So going to the Cup, Kraken activates next. He does 2 move actions. Now he has Charge, which allows him a free melee attack after he moves. That's how he got there base to base. He takes a swing, and so here's how it goes down. So Kraken did roll 2 hits, and he surges to crit. Now Gar Saxon will go ahead and spend that dodge token he has to get rid of 1 of these. And of course, then he rolled He does not. He does search the block, thankfully, so he'll block that one. So 1 wound will go through on Gar Saxon. And I did forget to mention that Kraken did roll off his suppression, which gave him, yeah. So Shadow Collective Maul, he goes ahead and activates next. Now, he did not roll off that suppression during the rally step, so that stays. Now, that would suppress him normally, leaving him only 1 action, but however, because he has that Juyo Mastery, he gets 3 minus the 1, but he's still 2 actions. He decides to do a double move action. He jumps up here for the 1 action, and then walks over here, and he'll end it right there. So Separatists go to the cup, pull out the B1s over there. They did move action. They tried to see if they have range 3 on Maul up there. They just didn't have it, like a hair short. These guys really weren't in line of sight. They had a little bit of his butt crack there, peeking out, but not worth the shot blind. Instead, they do another move action to go up here and help out Kraken, hopefully on round 2. So the B1s activate next. They double move to there. Now, when they were back here, they were within range 3 of those suns, but unfortunately, line of sight was blocked, so AI didn't trigger, so they did 2 move actions, putting them over here. That's how it ended. So, with the last activation of the first round, Maul was back here. 2 moves. He moves to here, then jumps over them, landing out to here. So he jumped over them with the first action, then he moved again, putting him to here. Not quite in base to base with the Black Suns, but close enough. He'll end it right there. Now, I wish he had Saber Throw. He does have Force Choke. You know what? He will Force Choke somebody. He'll go ahead and just tap that card and just kill off one of these guys just like that with a Force Choke. So heading into the cleanup phase for round 1, remember the center objective up here does not get scored this round. That'll happen on rounds 2 through 4, a point each. And then, of course, the last round, round 5, you get 2 points if you're controlling it. But I think we got everything covered here. Now, I think that I lost footage on these pikes. They moved up, they took a shot, and they killed off a B1. If that was missing, that's what happened. Other than that, we'll clean this thing up and see how it pans out here in round 2. So to start round 2, we got Victory or Death for the Shadow Collective, and we've got the Phantom Menace for the Separatists. Basically, Gar Saxon, 2 troopers. They get a free aim to all the people that got orders from him, and you can spend dodges to cancel crits this round. Basically, for the Phantom Menace, this was not divulged during the deploy step, so Maul cannot attack. Enemy units beyond range 2 of Maul cannot attack him. So the orders were given out to these guys here, Maul, and of course Gar Saxon. Over here, it was just Maul that got the order, and he got 1 trooper. I think he gave it to these guys back here. So they might as well activate Maul first because Maul can't attack per the card this round, and units have to be within range 2 to attack him. So being that he's in the center of the field here, the safest play for him right now would be to actually move into base-to-base contact with these guys, tap his Force Reflexes to get a dodge, and a second action to be a dodge, and that's kind of where he'll sit. So it kind of protects him from range attacks out here from these guys, and yeah. So Maul was kind of crafty. He activated next for the Shadow. Now he was up here. He jumped down to here, which put him in range 2 of those jabronis over there. He throws the saber, Dark Saber, 3 black dice. He did get a hit and a crit. He had an aim token from the card, so he re-rolled. He still got a blank. But Pierce 2 kills 2 of these guys instantly and lays down a suppression. And then he just scoots back to behind this rock a little further away and out of range. So Kraken activates next, pulling from the cup. He gives himself an aim token to activate lethal. He rolls his dice, got 4 reds in melee. He did pretty well. He got 4 hits, and then he has, of course, he spent the aim to get the lethal activated, which is Pierce 1. Now, Gar is impervious, gets an extra defense dice. He would have blocked all 4 of them, but Pierce 1 will go through that 1, giving him, Gar Saxon takes a wound, and that will end Kraken's activation. So Rookcast's unit will activate next. They were back here, if you recall. 2 moves puts him in the base-to-base with Maul. And remember, he can't attack this turn, so they're just going to gang up on him. It also prevents her from being a range attack from these guys over here. Up next for the Separatists, this group of B1s activated next. Did not roll off that suppression, so you get one action. They just took a blind shot because of their AI program, and they had to do an attack action, range 3, launched their white dice over there, and they, believe it or not, they scored a crit and a hit. The hit was taken care of by the independent dodge that they get at the beginning of the turn. The crit went through, and they did not block it. So a wound will go on the pikes with some suppression. So pikes up next for Shadow. They did not roll off that suppression during the rally step, so they are suppressed. They get one action, decide to move back from here to there. He had a line of fire of those droidicas. So droidicas activated next. There was no one for them to shoot at. There was just nobody out here eligible, so they had to do a move, and then the second action was take a standby. So Gar Saxon activates next. They give himself a dodge token for the first action. He already had an aim from the card. He winds up on the Kraken. He gets, with his reroll, he got 2 hits. Kraken got 1 block. He doesn't surge to block or anything, didn't matter. So Kraken takes a wound, and that's how that one ends. So B1s activate next. Double move action, put them from behind here to over to there, ending their activation. So Black Suns go ahead and activate next. They had an aim from independent aim. They give themselves another aim token. They're in melee combat with the Maul, which they can do because they can. He's going to go ahead. They wind up. So with the rerolls, they were looking for crits here because Maul had like a bunch of dodge tokens. Luckily, they did get, with the rerolls, they got 2 crits and a hit. Now the dodge token took off the hit. 2 went through. Maul only blocked 1, resulting in 1 wound on Maul. And bled out a dodge token on him. So the B1s over here activated. They were in range 3 of the Maul, so he was an eligible target. They shot at him, rolled all blanks, so nothing over there. Then the second, and they couldn't move. Oh, I changed this because they only got 1 action. They were still suppressed. Wait a minute. No, we're okay because even though they have a suppression on the Courage 1, they're droid units and they can't be suppressed. They can panic, but they can't be suppressed. So they would get their second action, which would be to move, and they can move into base to base with Gar Saxon. So last unit to activate was the B1s over here. 1 move action puts them there. I could give them a dodge, but the round's pretty much over. The Shadow Collector has no more activations, and that's how it will end, and we will go to the cleanup phase. So moving into the cleanup phase here at the end of round 2, big dog pile here in the middle. They're still duking it out over there in that corner. Maul's hanging out back here with these pikes. Still anyone's game. We are going to score it though, and it looks like there's a tie in the middle. So both sides will get a point for that. I think, actually no, let me double check this. I think there is, let me double check that. I think range 1 of this. So yeah, the Separatists will score this because they've got 1, 2, and 3 units within range 1 of that, and they've only got, and the Shadow Collective only has the 1 and the 2. So yeah, the Separatists are going to take this one. Point for them. And one minor note though, I'm not sure if I did it or not, but like the B1s are special. Again, we talked about that. They can't be suppressed. Right, they'll always get their 2 actions, but they can panic. But the 1 suppression would not negate them from taking the second action. Also, with the B1s, I don't know if I did this or not. They don't get cover 1 from the suppression, so I'm not sure if I gave it to them. If I did, I don't think I did. But if I did, they should not have gotten it. And that's, yeah. So let's keep going here. Okay, start round 3. So the cards are drawn for the Shadow Collective fight of their day at last for the Separatists, which at last gives Maul, Separatist Maul, Jedi Hunter, and also gives him, I believe, he gets 1 aim token, which he has. And of course, Gar Saxon is really hamstrung in the way this is because this card says he can only give out orders within range 1, and nobody else is in range 1 of him. So he'll get the lone order for the Shadow Collective. It does say they get outmaneuver this turn, which is nice, but yeah, not much there. So priority goes to the Separatist. So the Separatist Alliance goes ahead, and so Maul will activate with that order. Now he gets he had the aim token from the card, and he has 3 actions because he's wounded now with that Juyo Mastery. So 2 dodges. I'm sorry, he gives himself 1 dodge. Sorry, 1 dodge, and he'll give himself an aim. So Maul does wind up, and he lightsabers them. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 crits and 2 hits. They block 1, but Maul has Pierce, so they don't get any cover. They have no dodges, so they are all dead. So Gar Saxon goes next for the Shadow Collective. He winds up. He's got 2 red dice for melee. He gives up a dodge as first action. He winds up. He did score 2 hits on the Kraken. The Kraken rolled 2 whiffs, and that's it. So Kraken's dead. That puts 5 wounds on him, and now he is gone. This game is so crazy sometimes. So going to the cup, B1s here will activate. They have an AI. They have to attack if able. They can't attack. Cammy's in melee. These guys are in melee, but the Maul way over there is in range 3 and line of sight from this guy here. He actually does have line of sight to him. And not all the minis have it though, so they will attack the Maul with a blind range shot with these 4 minis here in the dice pool. These 2 will not go in the dice pool because they can't see him. You're not gonna believe this, but even blind, they rolled 2 crits. Maul, despite the heavy cover he would have had, but he did not block either one of them. He has no dodge tokens, so he was safe. He takes 2 wounds. He is 1 wound away from dying. That is incredible. What a lucky shot. So the Pikes went next. They did a move action from there to there, and then they took a shot at those B1s over there. Couldn't see all of them, but they could see most of them. And they got heavy cover from that. So, they rolled 3 black dice. They scored just 1 hit, but it bounced off the cover, laying a suppression on those B1s over there. So the B1s over here activate that are immediately with Gar Saxon. They have to attack first, so they attack blind. They roll 4 white melee dice, which they did score 2 hits, but he has a dodge. He blocks one of them, and that blocks the other one, so nothing happens to him. And they'll give them a dodge for the second action, ending their activation. So the Mandalorians, they go next. They're locked up with Maul over here. They already had this from independent aim. They gave themselves an aim token, wound up on him. They rolled 6 black dice because there's 2 black dice for melee for each one in the unit. They did score 2 crits and 2 hits. Maul used a dodge to knock off this one. 3 go through. Maul whiffs on all the defense. He doesn't surge to block. So that's it. He takes 3 wins. So Droidic is up next. They had range 3 to those Pikes over there, but the problem was this guy could not see them through that. This guy could, so only half the attack pool, which was enough to get a crit. Unfortunately for them, the Pikes can block. They had dodge token. They blocked that crit. They'll just take 2 suppression and call it a day. So Maul, on his last legs here, literally, does 2 move actions, putting him out here. I think one was a small jump and then just regular move action. He got here because he wants to get out here with these B1s because to negate that cover they were behind. So he throws his saber. He does score, but the dark saber started to crit for him. So that means this was blocked by the dodge token they had. But the 2 crits, they did not. Well, they could have rolled, but it's Pierce 2, so the 2 are dead. Then he force chokes the other one over here. So that's how that one ends, and that's it. So our B1s here, our friends, took 2 moves, putting them there, ending their activation. They couldn't, AI attack wouldn't trigger because the only target they had was Maul, but they had no line of sight to him. That's behind this thing here, so they got to move twice. That's all they can do. So last activate this round with the B1s right here. They were back here. They didn't have the range to hit the Pikes, the only eligible target they had. So instead they did a move action, putting them up here behind these droidicas, and that's how it'll end. So here we're approaching the cleanup phase for round 3, and I gotta tell you, the Shadow Collective is not out of it yet. They did kill Kraken last round, so they've got a chance here, but they're down on units. We'll score it now. So as you can see, they've got 1, 2, 3 trooper leaders, and then we've got 4 counting Maul. 1 and 2, so they will score that this round and get a point. Point to the Separatists, 2-0. Start of round 4. His Eminence for the Shadow Collective and Standing Orders for the Separatists. This is a crazy card. So basically Maul in 1 unit. Everybody in range, any troopers in range 1 of Maul, both friendly and enemy, get a suppression. And Maul gets a dodge. Standing orders for these guys, you know how that works, 1 unit. So we had to nominate a new unit for commander because Kraken was killed last time. So it was these guys. Here's B1 to take over. They gave their order to the Droidekas over here, and Maul got the order over here along with the Mandalorians over here. So let's get this thing going. So Maul is up for Shadow Collective. He did a move action base to base. Darksaber these guys, scored 3 hits, and he has Pierce 2. They blocked 1, but with Pierce 2, didn't matter, they're all dead. Then he force choked one of these guys over here, and he moved, that was the free action. Then it was the last, he has 3 actions because he has that mastery. He just moved himself a little bit off of that, back over to here to stay out of line of sight of those guys, and that will definitely end his activation. So B1's activate over here. They are AI attacks, so they failed their rally steps. They only got 1 action. Now they're not in range 1 of Maul. They're close but not in it. So his card does not affect them. They have one suppression. Failed the rally test. They still get their 2 actions though, right? Yeah, because they don't get suppressed. So they will attack. They attacked him. Rolled their feeble 4 white dice. Got a hit. He blocked it. And their second action was given to the dodge token. The Pikes go next. They were able to rally off that 1 suppression they had. So they went ahead and did double move action, put them right to here. Just out of line of sight of that Droideka over there. You can't quite see him through all this. But there's a little bit of line of sight over there. But they have a dodge token and some heavy cover to work with. They're thinking they'll be okay. So Maul activates next for Separatists. I really screwed up here. I really should not have activated those Pikes earlier. These guys had the Mandalorians had a face-up order token with an aim, and I totally forgot about it, and I totally messed this up. They should have gone first and hopefully maybe got lucky and taken Maul out, but they didn't because I moved the Pikes like an idiot that I am. So now Maul gets a chance to activate. He winds up with his lightsaber, and yeah, it's not pretty. He just completely... wow, 2 hits, crit, another hit, 4. They roll, they're impervious, so he's got what, Pierce 2. It's another, they have to roll 1 more dice, but it won't matter. Okay, so they would have blocked 3, but he has Pierce 2, so they only wind up blocking 1. So they do block 1 of these. What they do, they block maybe this one over here. 3 still go through, and kills them. They're dead. That was my fault. I think I just cost the Shadow Collective the chance to win the game here. So they're all dead, and they all die. So just move them down. That does free up... Actually, no, it doesn't, because I forgot. Rook Cast is in that unit. Ooh. Yes. But he can force choke her, can he? She's a trooper unit. He will force choke her and put a wound on her. They are not dead yet. Okay, so one thing I forgot about, that the retinue keyword with Recast, they did start the activation phase within range 2 of Maul. It was over here. That's range 2. They would have gotten a free dodge for that. So if we factor that dodge in, that would have canceled one of the hits on Maul's lightsaber before we go to the defense roll. So technically, it would have forced Maul to have to force choke one of the other Mandalorians over there to finish them off. So she does not get a wound. She still has her 2 wounds, and she's still kind of in this thing, and this would have gone. So Gar Saxon goes next. Gave himself an aim token. He rolled off his suppression. He rolled 2 red dice for melee. He does search the crit. He got the crit. He got a hit. They had a dodge token. He blocked that one off. They didn't block this, so he does kill one of these things, and that's how that ended. So Droideka's up. I'll go next. Now, where they were, they had no line of sight to attack anybody for AI attack, so they forced them to do their AI move instead. Moving up, now they've got him. They just launched it on poor Maul, and they've got a lot of dice. It's just too much to count. They scored 2 hits and 2 crits on it. Maul did spend his dodge to trigger the deflect. It didn't do any good. He only rolled 1 block, and the rest were all whiffs. He rolled 2 blocks. The rest were all whiffs. But he only needed 1 more wound to kill him, as he already had 5 on him, so Maul is effectively dead by the Droidicus. So Rookcast goes next. She had name token. She spends it. She had 2 black dice in melee, and we went ahead and she did roll a hit, but he blocked it. That's it. She gives her a dodge with her action, and that's it. These B1s activate next. They just stay where they are because the AI attack won't. The AI won't work because they have nobody in line of sight to go shoot at. She's in melee with him, so they'll just stay. They're in range 1. They'll just stay there, and that's it. Okay, so these B1s actually can execute AI attack. They can see 2 of the guys in that unit. Now, not all of them can see it. Only these 3 over here. There's 3 over there. So it'll be 3 white dice going over there in heavy cover. So how'd the attack go? Well, they did roll. They rolled a surge, nothing for them. 2 hits. Pikes had a dodge. They spent that, and they didn't block the other one. So the Pikes are going to take a wound on this. I didn't give them the cover because they're both in base-to-base contact with it, and that's just, yeah. So it'll probably be this guy here that gets it. He's in line of sight, and that's it. So we are at the end of round 4 now, cleanup phase. The Separatists will again score that objective because they have 1, 2, 3 to the 1, 2 of the Shadow Collective, and they'll get another point, go up 3-0. And I just don't see how the Shadow Collective can even win this game. I'll go one more round though. Alright, so 5th and final round, Gar Saxon pulls marked for elimination, and they pulled Roger Roger. So command phase, obviously Gar Saxon gets it. It gets 2 free aim tokens per the card, and Roger Roger gives out 3 trooper units. So these guys over here, those guys over there, and these guys over here, and they all get something. Give these guys a dodge, I guess. Haven't done that yet. Per the card, and we're going to get this thing going. So it really comes down to Rookcast has to, mathematically, she could kill Maul this round. And he does have like 4 observation tokens on him already from Gar Saxon's Marked for Death. And so yeah, we'll see what happens. So going to the cup, the Pikes activated first. They were back here. They were able to see 2 of these guys in line of sight. They took a shot with 2 black dice. They whiffed on both of them. So they did a move action, putting them in the base-to-base combat to finish the turn. And of course, a dodge comes from independent aim. Or I'm sorry, independent dodge. So going to the stack, the Separatists did pull Maul, which is really bad news. He's probably going to kill her right here. So let's go resolve that and get back to it. Well, as expected, Maul does kill her. She got an independent aim. Didn't do her any good because Maul rolled, oh boy, he just rolling without any aims or anything. He just gets 1, 2, 3, 4 on her. She's impervious, gets an extra red defense dice, but like I said, with the Pierce one, so he's got the 2 wounds going through. She's effectively dead. So Maul can do something again. So Maul decided to force choke one of the Pikes. It was a free action. And then that's about all he can do. I mean, he could move twice if he wanted to, but he's just not, he can't do any more attacks this turn's last round. He'll just sit where he is and call it a day. So just to see what would happen, Gar Saxon activates next. He had 2 aim tokens to work with his rerolls. He was able to get 2 crits, which is great, but unfortunately they have outmaneuver. They can spend dodges to cancel crits. So one crit got canceled, and they blocked the other one. And that's how that went. So this guy actually is not dead. And they spent that dodge to block the 1 crit, and then they blocked the other one. So, yep. So that's probably going to call it, folks. This is definitely over. The Separatists are going to win. They've got 1, 2, 3 for that 2 points at the end here. Gar Saxon was not able to break off of these guys. He probably could have. He could have done a disengage and speed 1 move towards this. But it's just, even if he did that, they still wouldn't have the numbers to win this thing. So we're going to call it. It's going to be a pretty much a clean sweep for, it's going to be a 5-0 game here. 5 for the Separatist Alliance and 0 for the Shadow Collective. And that's going to be it. That's a wrap.